to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look how I am now. Still I smile and don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
All right, everybody, we're all live. Thanks for joining us. Our community will love you. And we are providing you the great content on a weekly basis. I'm the host of ENVELOP, or NIFTSY, whatever you like, Eugene. And please welcome our today's guest. There we are having AMA session as usually with partners, and we especially love AMA session with partners because, you know, it's a great chance to show you the values, how our partners value ENVELOP solution, which ENVELOP team has been developing last year. So please welcome the co-founder and CEO of ENVELOP, Alex Shedagubov. Alex, great to have you on. And our VIP guest today is Nikita Zalesov. He's Business Development Manager of CapsCoin. Nikita, it's great to have you on our AMA as our guest. Say welcome to our audience.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so dear community, as usual, you may ask your questions on the live chat. You have asked your question in Twitter, so we will answer first Twitter question, then question from live chat. But before, we are going to ask Nikita to tell briefly what is CapsCoin, what it does, and why CapsCoin needs ENVELOP solution as wrapping NFTs. Nikita, your turn, please. What is CapsCoin? Explain us, please.
Oh, that's kind of my lovely question. I really appreciate that you enjoyed that. Today we can discuss how we use ENVELOP, because we really found out all the possibilities, all the value that they can bring, not only to the market, but to the gaming market as well. And today, CapsCoin use ENVELOP protocol as our main strategic partner. We use their protocol to make these digital objects of the, like next generation of NFTs. They are the dynamic NFTs that can unite players across all games. You can use this NFT to play any game. And also, this NFT can store your game experience. So the more you play, the higher the value of your NFT. So for example, you play one game, get your XP, then play another game, and this XP will have value in the other game too. So in one sentence, we build in the metaverse of the cross-game dynamic NFTs.
Sounds excellent.
With the help of...
Yeah, okay, sounds excellent. Wish you good luck on that great way. Because building an NFT game in play-to-earn realm, this is going to be a great trend of our epoch and regarding Metaverse. So I know that you have prepared a great bunch of questions to Alexander, and he will be very pleased to answer this specific valid question. I love your question. So please, let's start asking Alexander, and we will be listening his answers on your questions, and then our audience will ask you both, gentlemen, and we will run our great AMA session. So, Nick, your first question to Alex.
Thank you. That's a pleasure to me to answer these questions, because they are really great questions. And first of all, I want to say that the interoperability of these NFTs is kind of the very important thing for us, because as I said before, we're building the metaverse, so it unites the people from the different blockchains. And how does ENVELOP work on this title, on the bringing the different blockchains together, and how much of them are already on ENVELOP, and what's the plan for expanding the lists in the future?
Yeah, so we are definitely moving to cross-chain. Now we are on current stage, we are multi-chain, now launched in mainnets of Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon as well. Also now we are in Avalanche mainnet. Zilliqa is upcoming, and Vax. Also, we plan to launch, I think it will be close to spring, cases with Solana, Flow. Afterwards, Atom and Polkadot are upcoming, and maybe some other chains that are not in the plan. And also, I forgot to say one of the closest and most important ones, it's Harmony blockchain, with whom we'll also hold our collective hackathon in January, where we plan to attract new devs and to execute some cases, especially for game use cases. So here's the plan.
Great. So the huge list is coming up, and I see that there are always also the it's rather new blockchains, and they are hyped in the moment, like Solana or Harmony. Yeah, cool. So may I ask another question?
Solana hyped, but lots of problems inside on tech side. But we see that the guys who are behind Solana and Solana team are going to make something big. So we think that we will compete with these difficulties and be one of the first in the ecosystem.
Yeah, that's all about the mass adoption. The more chains, the more people, the more communities we bring, the faster the future will come. So another question I want to ask you, when we're talking about the CapsCoin, the main thing that we use in your protocol is the storage. It's the storage of data, because it really brings us the possibilities of the dynamic storage of data. And what opportunities does ENVELOP offer for storage the metadata inside the NFTs?
So as we are ourselves, we don't offer any opportunities on the metadata storage. We can store any tokens inside collaterals like ERC20, BEP20, according to a chain. Also, in nearest release in December, we'll have the ability to put inside collaterals other NFTs. So now inside wrapped NFT, we can wrap one current NFT and add several ERC20 tokens. In future, we can, for example, make a wrap for this one NFT, several NFT add several NFT, ERC20 tokens, and so on. Here's as for metadata, we will be ready to offer a solution, not our own, but Swarm. It's a great team that are building decentralized storage for data, especially metadata. We had a communication with them, also signed an agreement on grant, so we won in the competition as well. So we'll be working together with them on solutions about NFTs, and we got an idea to build a mutual solution, also emitting such dynamic NFTs and also storing metadata of this NFTs decentralized way.
Cool, thank you. And today we see that a lot of potential have these renting and leasing mechanics, because when we're talking about the play-to-earn games, it's all about how to get the most performance by the less inputs of money. And the renting possibilities is really hype today. And how ENVELOP gonna make this possible? What's your plan?
So here are some solutions on the market at current state. Main part of them executes return pledge mechanics, where you need to pledge funds to take an NFT for rent for several days or weeks and so on. But it's combined with plenty of problems. For example, if you just forget to return it back, you stay without your pledge, and the person who gave it for rent even didn't had an idea to sell his NFTs. So we offer non-pledge rental when nobody needs to pay any pledge, and To say simple, the person who gives his NFT for rent, he transfers it into marketplace contract, select for what period he's okay to lease it, set up pricing for renting for about 1 day, 1 hour, and so on. And the other person, another site recipient, just scroll this marketplace, choose this NFT. When he executes a transaction on paying for the rental, our protocol wraps this NFT accordingly with time lock, and as soon as time lock finishes up, the Guardian smart contract will initiate transfer back to marketplace contract. So nobody needs to pay pledge, and all interests are guaranteed, and all is automated. So it doesn't need to be controlled by any party of this site. And according to this, also, we talked to our partners from GameSphere. The rental itself is a good thing, but also important one is the distribution of prize funds when we say about rentals, because we got an owner, a player, our guild of players, and the game issuer. So between them, we can, for example, make price distribution when prize funds drops inside collateral for wrapped NFT, and according to built-in mechanic, it's distributed between the owner of NFT, the guild of players, and the owner of this game. So it will be interesting for each party not to prevent rental mechanics and to benefit from it, because now it's starting only development, and I see big potential in this secondary market when we just raise this obligation of paying pledge. I think it will have a bigger rise than even now.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, when we're talking about these dynamic possibilities, they all about the secondary market, you know. So, you know, there are lots of teams today, lots of you know, concepts there are about the solving the problem, how to build kind of the bridge between all the blockchains. Between all the for example, popular blockchains at the start, and you guys are kind of making such thing too. What's your main differences or main points why you are better, or what you can bring to the market?
So the main difference is that we are building a cross-chain mechanic without any bridges. It's a good thing, the bridges, but sometimes we see that it's a weak point when a lot of bridges are hacked and money stolen. So we also base this mechanics on wrapping of NFTs. We are now building our Oracle, which will control this liquidity transfer or assets transfer between chain to chain. So to say simple, in one chain we lock assets on one chain, we freeze it by Oracle, and on another chain we emit this wrapped NFT, which stands for the liquidity locked on first chain. And when we got NFT on second chain, we can't unlock NFT on first chain. Only when we destroy the NFT on second chain, we are now able to emit the liquidity from the first chain or assets from the first chain. So it's kind of this, how it looks like. It's very simple. I tried to explain. It's much more difficult inside this field, but our tech guys are working hard on these organizations.
Great, and all of that gonna be part of our gaming ecosystem. That's cool.
Working for you guys.
yeah, thank you. We really appreciate your work, and that's because we use your protocol as our main, advantage of our possibilities in NFTs that we use in our games. So, given your development experience and the expertise that you have for today in our NFT industry, what do you see? What's going on? Where do we go in with these NFTs? Maybe this year or next year? So what can you say about the future? How do you see it?
So I think that obviously it's positive, a newest future, because now we are building these games in our blockchain world, but we now see that game giants like Ubisoft, I today read the news that they are definitely in NFTs, and they are integrating it with tethers into their game. So I think it's the first signal from big guys from game dev that they accept the idea of NFTs. So definitely it's good for us all. I think there will be some formats struggles between them and us. I can say. So I think that big guys would like to invent their formats to be adopted by anyone. As for us as a protocol, the main strong point is that we don't offer new formats. We stay the same 721 or 1155 format, and just the format is the same, but the functionality is much wider and new. So I think that's definitely a good thing. And as for now, we see that on the market are simple NFTs, game NFTs, but I support that as evolution of them will be obvious, and we are in this time with our solutions ready about collaterals, making composable NFTs. In one NFT, several NFTs with different blocks, royalties, and so on, and different possibilities. Also, we are communicating with game devs, and they are giving us new ideas. So one was there was the idea. Yesterday we have several calls, and from 3 different teams we got the one same request that we have to update our protocol. I think it will be another instance of our protocol that will give me functionality that we not only put value in collateral, but that we can put the value out of collateral. And it's a kind of a case when we get an armor for our game game hero, where he passes the battles, and the level of armor is diminishing on every battle, so he needs to rebuy his armor tokens to refill his collateral. So this is the simplest case, and many others can be possibly built on it.
Cool. That's very interesting, because we are into the gaming market as well as you. And what game projects do you already have agreements with? Besides our work together.
So we got agreements with NFT Craft, or Digital, Safe Hamsters, and several others are on the process of signing. Especially we communicate with the ecosystem of Animoca brands, but these guys are real busy now in this hot age of play-to-earn games. But we are also working on our solutions to be implemented inside them. So just cannot name them at the current stage, but some of them are about racing mechanics, and some about kind of fighting mechanics.
Oh, cool. So as we plan to make it 5 questions, yep. I think that's done.
Oh, you may ask all the questions you have prepared. Yeah. No limits. Any questions?
No limits. Okay. Then I'll give you another one. What the utility possibilities uses for these dynamic of the NFTs that's wrapped inside your protocol, other than in games? What the possibilities for the market?
Yeah, other possibilities, the simplest one and the first one which was invented by us is for creators, when the creator of art can wrap his NFT and just to refill the collateral to make his artwork more valuable on every transaction made, so it grows in price on every resale, and it will help to solve the problem of devaluation of NFTs and evaluation of this. So when we got a pledge inside the NFT about 1,000 USDT, it's okay if we sell it, for example, for 10K, but if we try to sell it for 100K, it's I seem not obvious for such ratio. And also for them, we can offer royalties. If it's for B2C markets, and any owner of NFTs can implement such mechanics to his NFTs that he wants. He can wrap it, set up economical setup and royalties he want to get from any transaction from secondary market. And he then sets up a time lock and release it to the market. It's the case for B2C. As for B2B market, there are plenty of integrations. The first one is about marketplaces, when they can also integrate these mechanics to offer to their audience those new mechanics. And for them is also useful thing about royalties, when we can create a multi-royalty mechanic. And then for marketplace, it's the problem of retention of NFTs on their marketplace is very important. But when the NFT leaves their marketplace, they reduce their incomes. But due to NFTs that are charged on chain, on every transaction made, never mind where it was made, they also will get funds. So for them, it's also a good point, not only to give new functionality to their users and creators, but for themselves additional incomes of funds. As for other use cases, it could be about economics, when we want to transfer liquidity from in one chain, or especially in several chains, like from, as I mentioned, about freezing liquidity on one chain and meeting wrapped NFT on another chain. We are moving to tokenization of payment channels, like we got Arbitrum and a kind like of this payment channels, so we can tokenize this liquidity, which is locked in these payment channels. If you say about a kind of mid-term or long-term development, we are moving to the total economics about derivatives. So when we are going to invent secure derivatives, when we got collateral, which stands for kind of insurance for this derivative, and that you cannot emit a second stage derivative unless you have insurance on the current stage. It's for that. If we say about more cases, obviously we can go into advertising, when the any NFT stands like an object where you can place your advertise. So due to our collateral, this advertising can, so we got plain NFT, but when we put inside collateral, there appears some advertisement, and then we can change it from time to time. So it's also kind of a new thing for games and metaverses as well, and we think it also can be a big thing as soon as we see more popularity inside in the metaverses. And obviously giants starting with Facebook supported it, and I think it's only the question of time when it will be mass adopted, this thing. Of course, Facebook will offer their solutions for advertising inside metaverses, but as the centralized chain that we have, great, that thing is real great. So there will be us with our solution as well. So basically, these are the cases. Also, we can implement for cases for storage mechanics for NFTs. When we got metadata stored on this decentralized storage, and for example, we got some dependence on terms of this storing according to our collateral. And here are the basic cases. Also, we can apply it for music, royalties for the music, realty, and lots of cases. So any unique object you got, it's NFT, and if you need to make different complicated things around it, here's ENVELOP with our solutions as well.
Well, so Nikita,
I think that
are you satisfied with the answers?
I'm very more than satisfied. I think talking about the cases, there is one more case that's gonna be possible. You can make the sales of tokens by selling the rapid NFTs with tokens.
Forgot to say we did it for our own case. And also
I think that's really great stuff, because the last years from 16, 17, there were a lot of ICOs, IOs, and all this stuff about how to sell the tokens for the new projects. And I think that's can be the great new way of selling it, by not just selling the tokens, by selling the NFTs with tokens.
Yeah, and also, as you mentioned it, I forgot to say about our farming tool. When anybody can implement this mechanic to farm their tokens, and the project don't have to have their own farming tool. They just can implement ours. In simple, it's when your users put stake tokens and back they got wrapped NFT with time lock, and using this wrapped NFT they can harvest tokens and stake back their tokens. And also this wrapped NFT is a main priority because it's resellable. For example, a user, if he locked liquidity and at current state he needs liquidity for any other buys, he can resell it on the market and get the liquidity for him. And he resells not only his stake tokens but future rewards. And also our staking tool renew each term. For example, if you stake for 6 months, you get API about 10%. If you stake for 10 months, you get API 20%. But due to our tool, you don't have to restake. If you stake for 6 months and don't take away, it's restake automatically, and you can get funds. And also, this case of wrapped NFTs, like Launchpad you mentioned, also it's good one for VCs to transfer tokens to them. And I am real happy that Animoca Brands, our key partner and investor, also accepted from us our tokens wrapped inside NFTs on Binance Smart Chain. With time locks, we transferred all our tokens to them with such vesting. So they were one of the first to implement this mechanic in real life.
That's great. That sounds really great. I think that will be not the only one case on the market soon. Yeah. I think that's very, very good for gaming mechanics, because when you talk about the staking, it's like when we turn it into the GameFi, the staking becomes the farming in game gold or anything else. It's just about the mechanics that we mentioned.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm done with my questions for today.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Nikita.
you.
I really enjoyed your questions. I really enjoyed the answers of Alexander. It seemed like a very intellectual discussion of two professionals, and that's great, the community. Do you see that ENVELOP itself and its team and our partners are clever guys who are making this, who are building this NFT space by their own heads and hands and bringing to you. And you do understand that the perspective of NFT segment is brilliant, super brilliant, because any unique thing, as Alexander said, may be turned into NFT, and that means that the solution to be developing is very, very useful forever. So let's check to our questions from our audience, and you guys are lucky today because our audience want to ask you both CapsCoin and ENVELOP NIFTSY. So let's go with the question. Don asks, can you describe your main target audience, ENVELOP and CapsCoin both? So Nikita, please, who is the main target audience of CapsCoin? And then we will switch to Alex.
Oh, that's kind of great question, I think. Because when we talk about the audience, first of all, we are the gaming platform, so we are looking into the gamers. But there are different type of games, because, for example, the latest top hype project that I think you all guys know, the DEXs, shows us that there are much more gamers besides the blockchain world. And that's for sure. The mobile gaming market is more than 10 times bigger, or even 100 times bigger than the play-to-earn games market. So we're looking into that market also. The mobile gamers worldwide that can be turned into the play-to-earn gamers.
Alex, let's repeat again, one more time, shortly. Who is the target audience of ENVELOP solution?
So our main target audience is B2B segment, current stage the game projects, this Metaverse projects, any marketplaces, artists, game event organizers, art organizers who want to give their NFTs new functionality, add new mechanics inside their projects. So practically any project on the market who interacts with NFTs can be our client.
Now let's proceed. Prodigy asks, Envelop, tell more about your current clients and use cases you're working on now, shortly. Current clients and use cases.
So previously I mentioned current clients like in GameFi, of course, CapsCoin and NFT Craft. Several other games, trading platforms like LOT. For them, we are educating a tool to act with their pre-IDO and then emit the NFTs with collaterals. Also, we communicate with new chains like Harmony, with whom we are going to integrate into their NFT projects, new mechanics that are not presented there because nobody does it on their chain. And as for marketplaces, it's kind of on building integration with NFT stars, who will be the first one to implement it. So here are the main projects, and of course, Animoca Brands family. So at current stage, I can't name exact names, but we are working with them. As previously I mentioned, they are real hardworking and busy to. We are moving not so fast as we wanted to, but due to this, we got a lot of knowledge, for example, from cases at current realizations of like with CapsCoin, Safe Hamsters, and others, as all digital as well.
Well, so the majority of the cases are in the gaming side, as you understand. So, guys,
Absolutely.
A life hack for you: just check the YouTube channel of ENVELOP and find all the AMA session with partners, and you will see the current stage, current situation with ENVELOP clients. All they have been on our AMAs. This is a great way to know who they are, how do they use ENVELOP. Check the AMA sessions. We're running AMA with partners even for that purpose. Let's go further. So Paul Richard, Nikita started our AMA session with talking what is CapsCoin and what it's useful. So just rewatch the AMA in the beginning, and your question about details of the CapsCoin will be fulfilled excellently. I am super assured that. Ultradon asks, ENVELOP, can you tell about core ideas behind your DAO? Seems like a great question, Alex.
Yeah, so the main idea is that we want to upgrade the idea of staking tokens, not just as it's now that people stake and don't interact with the project itself. So any new case we can offer for our community to participate in it, not only in income, but also it stands at current stage to become a kind of, we can name it a kind of seed investor in certain case. And get rewards from the incomes, because with any B2B partner, we interact on revenue sharing models. So to say simpler, according to proportion of your stake in each micro DAO, you get rewarded with revenue that generated within this project. And in future, as we integrate more projects, we will let not only to participate in microdAO of a certain project, but a kind of a game sector like games, marketplaces, metaverses, and so on, or the whole microdAO of ENVELOP. So it will be very flexible for users to choose.
Scarface asks, CapsCoin, when pre-sale and launch of your project, Nikita?
Oh, great question. Thank you. We're looking into the January to make the pre-sale, the TG stuff that you are waiting for. But the launch of our first game project is the Metaverse game. It's the quest game about the cat. Gonna be, I think, maybe even sooner than the IDO. All the details gonna be published in our announced channels.
Excellent. Tony Black asks the brilliant question. Can you guys explain the specific cooperation between ENVELOP and CapsCoin? And I would love you both to answer, because every one of you has its own vision on values of cooperation. So Alex, how do you see the possible values, possible ways, specific cooperation between ENVELOP and CapsCoin?
So the main will be enriching of their game mechanics due to our collaterals, which can be built inside wrapped NFTs. It can be used in games like to create collateral dependent items, like we got an X, and the more collateral inside, the more powerful it is. Or we can create, for example, a complex hero inside with collateral, and each token will stand for each characteristic of this hero, one for stealth, one for strength, for many others. They can be used current tokens, or game projects can emit their additional tokens for these upgrades. Also, this will be used to rental mechanics, non-pledge rental, I should mention, distribution of funds according to place of rental NFTs, and so also it will be a good thing to fit with all interests of player, of game issuer, or game owner, or renter of this NFT. In general, I see it like this.
Excellent. Nikita, your turn to explain. How do you see the cooperation between ENVELOP and CapsCoin?
Well, I see that's the beautiful one of cooperation. So we're using all the possibilities of these dynamic wrapped NFT, because first of all, it brings up the possibilities of storing the game experience, as I mentioned in the start. And we're talking about the ownership when we're talking about the NFTs. You know, it's like just your paper that you are the owner of something. So in this way, when we use the dynamic NFTs wrapped by envelope protocol, we can put into these ownership not only the digital object, but also your game experience. So we bring back your time, spend it on these games back to you. You can own this time and sell it, because all this value that's stored, that gathered by playing, belongs to you, and that improves the value of your NFT. More than this, these rental mechanics and the cross game stuff, there's a lots of possibilities that we gain from the envelope protocol. But first of all, as I mentioned, is the store your gaming process inside your NFT, and that brings you the new way of thinking about it, the new way of own anything in game. So that's the main point.
Well, Mr. Ronald asks to CapsCoin a question. Any plans to launch the other DEX exchanges next? I don't understand exactly. Any plans to launch your token on other DEXs? So how do you understand the question, Nikita? If you do understand.
Yeah, I think that's the question that simple to the one that was before, about the pre-sales and the plans of the go in the public, our token. So what can I say? We have a lot of things to be done, to be happened in the January. Also, there will be taxes, DEXs, and so on. So the final list of all these taxes, DEXs, and launch pads are gonna be published. Just give us some time. There are a lot of work on this moment going on right today and every day. So we're gonna tell you all these things.
Okay, in the next AMA sessions, I hope we're in streams. So, Adam Walker, the purpose of CapsCoin is the NFT game. This is simple. This is the main utility. Nothing could be added for them. Just rewatch the AMA session. You will understand it clearly. Mr. Collins asks, CapsCoin, what about your tokenomic and Metaverse? If they will be better with another project? If you do understand the question, surely, Nikita, please answer on this.
Yeah, I kind of not so clearly understand the question. Our tokenomics is when we're talking about our token. It's the utility thing that used inside every movement on the platform. That's very simple. Think like the gas for Ethereum or BNB token for Binance. That's kind of the utility token for the ecosystem. And also, every game that we're gonna publish on our platform will use maybe their own tokens also. That's not the problem at all.
Excellent. So it's better to visit the CapsCoin website and find the big answer and this big question about tokenomics on this. Do not hesitate to to learn material not from AMA. AMA is the format for quick questions, for clarifying some moments that don't be lazy to learn the document, the main documentations. Master device envelope. How wrapping works? Short question, short answer. Alex, how wrapping works? NFT wrapping.
Just if in short, you, for example, you get an NFT, you take your NFT, it goes to our protocol. Inside we make kind of a shield where you can put different assets and make, for example, a time lock for this shield and set up an economic of this NFT to grow on every transaction and for royalties to be collected to you on every transaction made, just for example. Or in other case, if you are just to transfer liquidity, you don't have an NFT, we'll later release this tool when just you form the empty wrap inside your asset. That, for example, you just need to transfer your assets inside one chain or in different chains. You just wrap them for about 20, 70, how many assets you got, and transfer them in one transaction.
Well, Nikita, the next question sounds simple, but maybe it's worth the answer. My question is, Keeper King asks, what are the advantages we can get in CapsCoin? I think he means besides playing games, earn money. How would you describe the advantages?
That's really great question, because not all the players, not all the potential users of CapsCoin are the players. And you can, for example, earn not only by playing games. You can, for example, buy the specific rarity NFT and just rent it and make the income from it from just owning and rent it for the players. So it's when we talk about the possibilities, we just mentioned a lot of it besides the games. That's also, for example, the possibility for paying the actor, the artist of the special series, for example, for the collaboration series of Caps that we're gonna make together with any artist or any brand. That also can be the way of income from the CapsCoin platform. Also, the developers, for example, can publish their games on our platform and get revenue share from our platform from the people that are going to be playing their games. So we are not talking just for players. We have a lot of possibilities also for the business.
Okay, Old Man Winter, we do not understand the question clearly. CapsCoin tell what game will get being a part of the ecosystem. CapsCoin will be the part of the ecosystem. Any NFT game is going to be the part of the ecosystem. That's simple. Karashover Right asks, what's the long-term plan for ENVELOP? Sounds like a great question, Alex. What would you say?
Long-term plan? I just mentioned it previously, but our main focus is about moving to working with liquidity, cross-chain especially, tokenizing payment channels, creation of decentralized derivatives. So here we see big potential in a year or 2 years, maybe 3, but definitely the market of liquidity is going there. And at current stage where we now, our Oracle and protocol are successfully used inside games, metaverses, and will enrich the functionality of our protocol to fit in different use cases. Usually every week we got new ideas from our partners to add new functionality, and when we collect, for example, several inquiries of the same functionality, we add it to our dev plan. As for example, it was with the function of the ability to not only put inside collaterals, but also take assets out of collateral without wrapping NFT party. So yesterday it was asked by 3 our partners in one day. So we decided that it definitely must be done. So we put in our dev plan.
Switch asks, CapsCoin, any IDO updates? Seems to me you've already told about IDO. Nikita, repeat please.
Lots of questions you're gonna have about IDO, when listing.
No, this is the question for CapsCoin. CapsCoin.
Yeah. I think the CapsCoin. I remember the October. It was plenty of them.
Yeah, we got plenty of such questions in our medias. So, guys, just give us a little time. As I mentioned before, we're gonna make it in the next month. It's not long to wait. So all the information gonna be published on our channels, Telegram, Twitter, and other. So just stay tuned, and you will be informed first.
Excellent. Cabby asks, Alex, tell more about utility for the NIFTSY, and she, or he means the utility of tokens, NIFTSY tokens, I think.
The main utility of our token is about participation in microDAOs to get share revenue from their incomes of DAO, except that our token can be used when integrated with partners or used by creators who wrap NFTs in our the app to be stored inside collateral transactionally or be paid as a royalty. For example, also we will use our token in functions of Oracle to get data from it, analyze data. So they will be definitely used. And when we got the whole system executed like Protocol, Oracle, and Index, token also will serve to get the main functionality from these three parts for any B2C or B2B user. And also we plan to use our token when we collaborate with our partners as a part of obligation of staking or freezing part of our tokens from the market to get a case. So here are the main focuses of using our token.
Well, G4 asks, is ENVELOP based for NFT? No, Jim. ENVELOP is the mechanics for creating a wrapped NFT. It's not a marketplace. Don't confuse it with marketplaces. Mr. X asks, is it possible to launch DAO based on ENVELOP? I would say ENVELOP is the protocol for NFT. It's not the base, the fundamentals for DAO. Don't confuse ENVELOP with...
You can offer to create a micro DAO on ENVELOP project. So if you got an ideas, you can write in our community. Also, we are working on the first cases to be realized as micro DAO based on our protocol as well.
But it is possible to join ENVELOP DAO or micro DAOs. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So we are going further. We have 10 minutes left and a couple of good questions. So Damian, we have already explained about cooperation. What is NIFTSY monthly work plan this month? Good question. Till the new year. What are you planning to do, Sasha?
So on the plan, there's big things about addition inside NFTs, inside collateral other NFTs, addition of 1155 formats, our Avalanche mainnet, so tests about it, and bug fixing on Avalanche. And also we got good plans with Swarm, from whom we got grants. So we got an interesting use case that they offered us yesterday. So we are to execute it. Not only that we will use Swarm as a source of data for our Oracle, and the tool to store metadata from our partners as marketplaces or games. But there will be one interesting case. We'll announce it a bit later. And also it's about preparation for hackathon and duration with Harmony, with whom we'll also be holding this hackathon together.
Well, by the way, guys, don't miss tomorrow's AMA session with Alex, only Alex, the weekly AMA, as we are currently doing for your staying in the great honesty and knowledge about what's going on in ENVELOP. So tomorrow and 12 p.m. the AMA sessions with Alex weekly. So, yes, Damien, I do understand that your question regarding DEXs was any plans to launch the other DEX exchanges next? He means, Alex, well, on what other DEXs besides DEXs, the token NIFTSY has been already launched successfully. We'll see other DEXs token NIFTSY, buy NIFTSY tokens on other DEXs in the future?
I think we'll see, but we didn't actually think exactly about certain DEXs where we gonna list. So now we mainly focus on integrations on other chains, and of course, when we got better integrations at this chain, we'll offer a listing on the DEX on this chain as well. So as you see, we are to integrate with Harmony, with Avalanche in nearest time. So I think there will be the nearest DEX listings.
The next question
but
from
I
Tom.
I can say exactly when it will be.
Okay, the next question from Tom, mostly for Nikita. Tell more about how do you think crypto games will be developed, the evolution of crypto games in the coming years. Nikita, how do you see that?
Oh, great question also. So I think that the next year gonna brings us the new quality of gaming in the blockchain, space. Because nowadays they're kind of not such a great level of these games today we have, and as I know, there are several well-known companies from the gaming market that were not into the blockchain for today's, and I think next year we're gonna see a lot of such cases with the high level of quality gaming. And also that's not only about the quality, that's also about these possibilities that we're gonna bring with ENVELOP together to the gaming market about these cross game, the multi-chain metaverses. It's all about that, all about the uniting into the one great cross-chain ecosystem and bring new possibilities for gamers, for the collectors, and all the other players on this NFT market.
Well, Alex, shortly, Dale asks, what user flow for start wrapping NFT via ENVELOP protocol? Short instruction, short steps. First, 1, 2, 3.
You go on the link app.envelop.is, choose what NFT from your MetaMask you want, choose at first chain, then insert the number of smart contract, ID of NFT you want to wrap, see the preview, then you can form collateral on initial collateral that you will apply for this NFT. Then you are to set up settings about growth of collateral transactionally, percent of this growth that will be received by you as a royalty. Then you set up locks on time and value. And then you see final preview, then press red button, and you've got here your wrapped NFT with all settings made.
Well, a final question from Pavel Belov for CapsCoin. What are a big plan of CapsCoin, Nikita?
Oh, that's what I mentioned last sentence. We are building the ecosystem of the multi-chain gaming metaverse. It's with the cross-game objects. It's like when we unite all the cool games from the market into the ecosystem that unites players and brings them the ownage of the game experience across all the games. So it's the big plan that we're gonna make.
So gentlemen, we've completed all the questions from our audience today. Thank you very much for joining us today, for your great questions, Nikita, for your great answers, Alex. Dear community, please subscribe on our YouTube channel. Get reminders, hit the bell button, stay tuned for next great AMAs and content. We provide content for you on a weekly basis. We do podcasts, by the way. Check that today's podcast with guy from XDAO. He explains how to create DAO in 1 minute. This is the great friend of ENVELOP. Usually on Wednesday, we are providing you AMA sessions with ENVELOP partners, so you may see who are they, why they've chosen us, why we do work with them. And on weekly basis for wrapping the week, not NFTs, wrapping the week, we usually do on Thursday or Friday as the weekly AMA session with Alex Shedagubov. He answers all your questions on the live chat. And don't miss tomorrow's AMA session with Alex at 12 p.m. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. More than 1,700 people have already watched this video in the month. That's great result. Thanks for our marketing team. Alex Shedogoo, the co-founder and CEO of ENVELOP NIFTSY. Nikita Zalesov, the BDM of CapsCoin, a partner of ENVELOP NIFTSY. And me, Eugene Crypto MC, your media host. Where you. Thank you for watching and listening. Stay tuned, subscribe on YouTube channel, and see you on the next AMA tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you, bye.
Thank you.